All right. The guy helped me with my rear end a long time ago, Brandon. Um, Elliot. He, I cut these out and everything, and then he welded them in. I messed up over there in the corner. That's my fault. But yeah, we're gonna seam seal this real good. And when I had the wastegate mishap at the track, if you guys follow the channel, it put a hole right there and it put a bunch of dents there. I flattened them out. But yeah, we're gonna seam seal it real good, just like that side right there. And then we'll take the tape off. We'll scruff everything up and we'll paint. We'll vacuum it out and paint everything in here. And we'll paint the roll cage. He did a roll bar, 8-point roll bar for me. Pretty good welds, if I say so myself. But yeah, we're gonna seam seal this first, and then we're gonna scuff the metal up, the bare metal. This we ain't gonna scuff up. Paint should stick to that. We're just gonna vacuum it, and we'll lay down some paint. I'm just gonna get some Rust-Oleum hammer tone or something to that effect, and we're gonna brush it on. And I don't know what we used on Chris's cage. His actually flaked apart a little. It's actually rusting, so we're gonna this probably where we get in and out of the car probably needs to have foam on it or something. I'm not sure, but we're gonna touch that up, sand that out, and touch it up anywhere else it's doing that at. But yeah, I'm not a painter, ain't gonna lie. Suck at painting. Suck at it. Suck at it. Alright, I ain't no painter, but we hit all the bare metal with some, well, 1000 grit. That's all I had, but we doled it up pretty good. And then we just hit it with some, missed the spot. Alright. Here, show the can on that. It's self-etching primer. Yeah, I missed the spot right there. I'm going to use a paintbrush and put that primer on. I'll finish it off with some of that stuff right there. I'll let you know how it goes. I sanded on Christopher's, and I used the hammer Rust-Oleum, and it's chipping off, so I didn't use any primer on his. We probably should have used primer. Probably going to have to sand that one back down and redo it, but I'm going to touch up his bare spots where it's chipped off and rusting, and we'll see how this cage does. And if this cage does good, we'll do his the same way. But yeah, I'm no painter, that's for sure. All right, cleaned everything up with a rag and mineral spirits best I could, and then I sprayed that etching primer. I sprayed the rest of that out on the big rust spots. I ran out or I'd hit that. But yeah, I'm not going to paint all this. I think I'm going to, that hump looks good. I'll probably just go up in the kick panel, come down the side of the hump, and then come up across there. But yeah, I'm going to do this primer right here. Just some Ace Hardware oil-based primer. And a little paintbrush. I have no clue what I'm doing. If you guys follow along with the channel, you'll see how it does. Alright, coat number 1. I suck at painting. You know, when you get done, then you start to figure out how many spots you missed. But I'm just going to do, I'm going to do this part too, but I'm going to let that dry. Do another coat, let it dry, and then I'll do this. Then we'll do the black. And I'll probably have to sand this down some. Because I don't know, it's already drying, but it's not smooth. I don't think I shake the can up good enough, and all the thick stuff was in the bottom, but that's all right. I don't care, as long as it don't rust. I wish I got to experiment with mine before we did his, because kind of messed his up. It's rusted in some spots the paint chipped off, you know, the high travel areas. But I think you can take a razor blade and scrape this stuff off. I mean, Probably a lot easier than sanding it off. I don't know, but we're gonna touch up the spots that are rusted on his, and he's taking that car home. If he wants to try a different way of painting it, sounds good to me. All right, doing some more painting. Not going to paint those parts because those parts are fine, and I'll probably only paint like up to this white line. I'll do. It's hard. It was hard to reach in there. I didn't plan my painting very good. I probably should have painted back here, then painted up there, and then came back and met in the middle. Kind of worked my way into the middle is what I should have done, but I'm going to paint this and let it dry. I'm actually going to cut the carpet right through here, just because I'm going to have to cut holes for every one of these. It'd just be easier if I just cut the carpet probably right through here, like right in that dip area. I don't want to put it up here because it'll try to fall down, so I'm going to try to do it like right through here. But yeah, put the black on. We'll let that dry. I'm not going to paint that tunnel up there because it looks fine. Down here, I'm just going to paint the hole, and then I'll paint around these things, these plates that were welded on. But yeah, only the holes are rusting, so I'm going to paint the hole, and yeah, just leave the rest of it alone. I'll get under the car and paint it too. But unfortunately, either my paint was cold or I didn't stir it up enough because it was really thick, or maybe it sat on the shelf too long. I don't know, but it didn't really. It went on good down here when it was nice and thin, but when I got to the bottom, it got really thick, and I put it on here and it didn't really come out the way I wanted. So I'm gonna sand all that down. Not try to sand it all off, not the primer, but I'm gonna try to sand it smooth and then go back over it with the black. The black laid really well. It was top to the bottom of the can was the same consistency. It was the same thickness the whole way. The gray was not. Like I said, we'll sand that down and then we'll paint that. But I'll keep y'all posted on it. I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna cut the carpet right through here, and I'm gonna put the carpet in, and then we'll use the carpet to kneel on to paint whatever we're going to paint back here. I haven't decided on how far I want to paint. Maybe we'll just paint the gray area. I don't know. Maybe we'll just paint the where it tries to rust at. I don't know. But I did spray the bottom of those. I'm going to paint those the same way I did up here. Coat of primer and then a coat of the black paint. But yeah, check this out, man. I shook this stuff up good. I mean, I shook and shook and shook. Look what's on the bottom. That can't be right. I'm gonna try to stir the crap out of it. I mean, it has been cold lately, but that's been in the house 3 or 4 days. And it's warm today. So I don't know. Is that supposed to be like that? I'm not a painter, guys. But I don't think that's supposed to be like that. All right, taking some 120 grit. That's all they had at the dollar store. I could have went further down the road, but whatever. This is knocking it down pretty good, actually. See, that's what it was looking like. This is what it looks like now. It's knocking it down good, getting dust everywhere though. So yeah, it's gonna knock her down nice and smooth. That's really smooth actually. So it's got the spray etching primer on it, and then it's got some oil-based primer on it, and yeah, then I primered the bolt. I'm gonna keep this part gray. From the weld, I'm gonna keep this part gray too, and this part I'm gonna kind of tape around here and paint. Well, it kind of exposed that. I don't know, to be honest with you guys, I wish I kind of used the etching primer and then just went straight to the VHT spray paint. But from what I read on the VHT, that roll bar spray paint, you can spray it on bare. I don't know. I know when I did Chris's, I sanded his down and used I forgot what. I think we just went straight with the hammer tone black. I don't know if we primered it. I don't know, but in some spots, his is chipping off. So, I don't know. Yeah, look how rough that looks. We'll sand her down. See, not better. Probably look even better if I went over it with some finer grit. So yeah, I want it to kind of lay kind of rough. I don't want it to look, you know, shiny showroom quality. That's just not the look I'm going for. So yeah, that turned out okay. I might, nah, that's far. I was gonna say I'll probably do farther up in there, but that's plenty. I have to do underneath the car too, because there's some bare spots. I'm mainly not trying to make it look pretty or not. I'm just trying to get bare spots. By the time I lay that carpet back down there and pull it out, that's gonna look rough. You know, just where the dust from the carpet will get everywhere. Yeah. So I'll finish sanding this down. Then I'll use some of that isopropyl alcohol and wipe everything down, and then paint this in the cage and let it dry and call it good. All right, there we go. It's all black. I think it looks pretty good. You can still see the streaks where that stuff, it ain't completely dry yet, but yeah, you're gonna probably should have sanded it a little finer, but I kind of, like I said, I kind of like it rough looking like that. I don't know, I don't care as long as it don't chip. It ain't dry completely. Almost gives it a wood grain look. Anyway, yeah, there she is. We'll let her dry and we'll throw the carpet back in her. Might do one more coat. And when I put this on, I didn't go this way. I went around like this with the brush. All right, dried. Actually dried pretty quick. Actually looks pretty good in my opinion. I did miss some spots, as always. I could have swore I checked that, but I'm gonna do one more coat. I'm gonna call it good. Maybe this time I'll go this way. Last time I went, you know, this way. This time I think I'm gonna go long ways with the bar. Do that. That's convertible though, because it makes it way easier. Way easier. Alright, it's the next day and everything's dried. 2 coats. Some spots didn't come out as good as I thought they should have. And then some come out nice and shiny. Not sure. There's a lot of condensation in the morning, certain days when it gets cold to hot real quick. So it kind of rains in here a little from the condensation, but yeah. Alright, I'm gonna throw the carpet in it. I'm gonna call it good enough. I kind of messed that spot up standing there when it wasn't completely dry to paint that back there. Whatever. Alright, I got the carpet back in. And I had to cut it in certain spots, and I had some yellow zip ties. So I just made a slit here, and ran a zip tie through. Made it look a lot better than a big gap there, because the carpet wouldn't stay together no matter what. But yeah, I cut all the holes out. Didn't do the greatest job on some of those. Were the hardest too right there. But yeah, I think it looks all right. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. And yeah, I'm all in that video right there, because yeah, I'm gonna put seats in it. Actually, I'm gonna put the seat belts back in it here, and well, no, yeah, here and there, That's where the push buttons go, and this is where the lap belt and part goes. From over here. Yeah, I'm gonna put those back on, and I'm gonna make a separate video of putting the seats in. But y'all have a great day, and I think it turned out all right. What do y'all think?